Today we're breaking down Shaquille O'Neal Topps Chrome Refractors. Let's get to the cards. Chrome debuted back in 1996. Hobby dealers actually showed little interest in pre-ordering Chrome, so Topps had to scale back production, making it a retail-only release. Interest picked up quickly though once it hit the shelves. This set is very condition sensitive, with centering and surface issues being quite common. Only one PSA 10 on 83 total submissions. Since there aren't a lot of PSA graded copies, even recent sales data is limited. No recent PSA 10 sales. There was a very recent sale on July 19th in PSA 8 for $1,020. These cards are also prone to turning green, or what many in the hobby call hulking. This can impact the grade and the value within the grade. Let's take a look at some examples of greening/hulking. Here are some examples. Card on the left is a PSA 8 that's sold on Fanatics Collect for $1,020. Has pretty nice color overall. See just maybe a hint of greening on Shaq, particularly compared to the card on the right that sold for $916. There's a significant amount of greening if you look at Shawn Kemp's green Supersonics jersey versus his shoulder. You can see this card has a lot of greening. If I have to pick between the card on the left or the card on the right, I'll pay $100 more and get that card on the left. Another example, PSA 7 says amazing color. It's actually sold for $1,300. That's more than the PSA 8 sold for. You can see this really does have amazing color. I don't see any greening at all on this card. And we compare it to this other PSA 7 that's sold on eBay for $555. Has a significant amount of greening as well on the card. That's why it's really important with these cards to not just look at the label, but actually to look at the card itself. The eye appeal is quite important for these. The greening can really impact the value. And unfortunately, this hulking can happen after the card's graded. And this doesn't just affect 1996 Topps Chrome. It affects other Chrome and Finest sets. So hopefully that was helpful. Let's get back to the cards. Before we get started, the note about greening at the bottom is part of the template. So it's shown for all cards, but it only applies to the two pre-1998 sets here. Next up is a 1997-98 Topps Chrome Refractor. See here the 4.1% gem rate. So remember that the pop is really low on these cards. So just a small number of 10s or submissions can move the gem rate and pop ratio significantly. Here we have a PSA 10 pop of just 4, total pop of 98. Last sale in PSA 10 was October 2025 for $21.75 and April 2026 for PSA 9 and PSA 8. We have those more recent sales. 1998 Topps Chrome Refractor. Again, very low PSA 10 pop, just 5, total pop 89. I did want to point out the set size here. You can see it's 205. If you look at a checklist, you'll see 220 cards. Well, 5 of those cards were never issued. The other 10 were issued in Topps Series 2, and you could get those as inserts. That's why there's only 205 cards you can actually pull in refractor form from actual Topps Chrome packs. 1999-2000 Topps Chrome Refractor. Again, low PSA 10 pop, only 3. Even a lower total pop, 55. You have to go all the way back to November 2024 to find a PSA 10 here, $977. More recently, June 2026, there was a PSA 9 for $590. So I'd like to summarize the data here. Probably be more interesting as we add more cards. I have a Finest Refractor video upcoming soon that'll be similar to this one. Until then, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.